Welcome to the Georgia-Florida Baseball Podcast, and as of today, Softball Podcast. This podcast is a production of Georgia Showcase Baseball and its owner, Coach Ben House. Ben, how we doing?
Doing great, Kevin. How are you?
Man, I am good. I'm your host, Kevin Perkins, and today we have University of South Carolina verbal commit Alex Williams, a rising junior softball player, and her father, Kareem Williams. How are you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing pretty good.
I'm good.
You got out of school for a second.
Yep.
That's good.
Yes.
Yeah, when I was in school, I got out of it all the time.
Oh, did you?
Okay, today on the Georgia-Florida Baseball Pod, we are going to talk to Alex and her father about their family's journey to a D1 scholarship offer, the lessons of sports, and the advantages of competitiveness, along with the family's commitment to one another. Does that sound good, guys?
Yeah, sounds great.
All right, we're going to do all of that and more after this.
This is the Georgia-Florida Baseball Show, brought to you by Coach Ben House with Kevin Perkins from Surrounded by Sports.
And we're back. Once again, thank you to Showcase Apparel for sponsoring the show. Ben is actually Showcase Apparel, so obviously thank you to you. And why did you want to bring Alex and Kareem on?
Well, a couple of reasons, man. Kareem's he's been very dear to me, man, for many years. Kareem, I can remember when Kareem was coaching Alex. It was, he had a baseball team, and he's always been very competitive. Always worked very hard with her. And as years went on, Kyle started coming up. His son started coming up playing baseball, and he's always had them playing and competing at a high level. And I think it's very important for the viewers to see just the work that he's put in with his kids, not only on the softball side but on the baseball side as well. But I just remember, until today, I just see the work that he's done with his kids, and I'll go up to the parks, like now. Recently, I go up and lock the parks up at a certain school, and he's up there 8, 9 o'clock at night, taking BP with his kids, taking the infield, taking ground balls, and I'm wondering, like, who is this up here at this field? And he's like, hey, it's just me. It's me. I'm up here. And I said, all right, man, just lock it up when you're done. So I think it's important for the viewers and the parents that's involved with their children to hear what he's done with his kids and the process, and also the dedication and the sacrifice that it takes to get to where he is now with his children.
Right.
Appreciate that, Ben.
Yeah, that was nice. Alex, now you started out, how did you, I want to say you started out playing T-ball, right? Kareem, you told me that. When did you start knowing that some form of a baseball, T-ball, softball was your thing?
Oh, okay. I started playing up like when I was 11 with 14-year-old girls, and a lot of those girls are playing at big schools like Auburn, Pitt, and Memphis, and I was hanging in there with them, and I think I kind of knew I had something then for softball. Yeah.
Right. Now let's go back a little further than that. Kareem, you want to talk about the first at bat in T-ball?
Oh, yeah.
You told me that story and I liked it.
Okay, so we started out when she was 3. I put her in T-ball, and of course she was the only girl on the team. Team. I think maybe one other girl that was on the team. Let me not dismiss her, but there was 2 girls on the team at the time, and she was one of them. And we went to play our first game of the season. I think we played over at Glenwood back then. That was the first game we played over there. And she came up to bat, and the coach told all the boys on his team to move up. Right. And I was down at the plate, putting the ball on the tee for her, and I looked up, and he's telling his team to come down, to come closer to her, man. So I knew she could hit then, because that first swing that she took, man, she hit it over the head out in the grass in the outfield to the fence. And I remember she was running. She had beads in her hair, and so she looked. Her mom had her looking like looking girly.
Yeah, yeah.
But she hit the ball to the gate. So that was the first time I saw a swing in the game, man, and it didn't take me long to figure out what I had.
Yeah, right, right. Now you said a part of Kareem, you described a part of the way Alex is good is through the fact that she was competitive in that uh, Alex, correct me if I'm wrong, that did playing against the boys and having a brother and things like that help you to be competitive as far as wanting to be able to be good at that level?
Yes, I think it did because they move faster and aggressive, and then that helped moving with the girls. So I was more playing with the boys just helped with that.
Right, right. And you wanted to be just as good as them. You didn't want to
Right.
you
I think
don't ever you don't ever want to be just, right? You want to be good.
right.
Right, right, right. Okay, so now Kareem, you were a college athlete, and
Uh,
I think that knowing what it takes to play in your case, play football and run track at Kentucky, run track at Georgia, knowing what it takes to be that level of athlete, how does that translate in helping to get your daughter to a higher level, or anybody?
well, I think Ben can attest to this as well.
Yeah.
It's from going through that yourself. You know what you kind of got a good idea of what it takes, right?
Mhm.
So being with them, sometimes they feel like I'm a little bit hard on them or whatever. It's not that I'm being hard on, is that I know the work ethic that you need to get to a certain point, right? If
Right,
that's So that kind of helped me to see it. So when we out there late at night, I know I used to be out there late at night, you
right,
know, things that got me to where I wanted to be. So if that formula works, well, let's stick with it, right? You got to put in a little bit more work than everybody else doing. So that's what was my insight into it, man, to kind of get them prepared. So they got it. If they don't get it, man, it's on them because I was there with them to put it in.
right. Now, also just curiosity, how early on did you work on her stride?
We're gonna stride.
Yeah,
We've been working on that since she's been able to walk.
I had a feeling. You know what I mean?
Her and her brother, right? So we've been
Right.
working at the beginning, man. So we go out and run now, right?
Mhm.
Always did that, man. I'm all because that's the eye that I have. So when I see him run, I'm always critiquing that. So that's something that I've always done. I don't even remember the first day that I started doing it.
Right, right. You can pick him up and put him down, Alex.
Oh yes, we gotta put them.
Ben, competitiveness translates across the board, right?
Yeah, man. Kareem's always been competitive, very competitive, man. Now, like now they got these AA tournaments, they got the AAA tournament, they got A tournaments, and when me and Kareem was coming up coaching and battling against each other, we've never played in lesser than the top competition because we know what it's going to take as these kids get older. They're going to see the top competition. So no college coach is going to come see a AA tournament. No pro scout's going to come see a AA or AAA tournament. So why start them off playing? If you want your kid to be at that top level or be one of those guys, don't why start them off playing at a level to where you want them to be at a certain level, and they need to compete at that level. And Kareem has always done that with his kids and also with his teams. So that's what I respect most about Kareem.
Right. Right. Now, let's transition for a second because I do think, we've covered baseball so much on the show, and there is a difference in the way Perfect Game goes about doing baseball and ranking kids and all that. And Kareem, you had talked to me about how it's a little different with softball, especially because you live in the baseball
Yep.
perfect game, travel ball capital of the world, right? And so when Alex wants to go find competition, y'all got to get in the car and drive to it, right?
So just like you just said with the baseball, the perfect game. We go up to the East Coast, play most of the tournaments in the Atlanta area, that type of thing. Most of the teams come from out of state to Georgia to play in those tournaments, so we don't really have to search far and wide when it comes to that. But with the softball, just her team right now is comprised of players from all over the United States. I mean, really spread. I think maybe just her and one other player is from Georgia. The team has almost, I want to say 17, 18 players, 20, almost 20 players on it, and just two of them are from Georgia. So most of her tournaments now, well, let me say this. You have what they call, we have perfect game in baseball, softball, we have PGL, Premier Girls Fast Pitch. They also have Alliance. You also have Triple Crown. So you always have all these different tournaments, right? At her level, those are the top three. They don't play too much U-Trip anymore. But those are the ones that we always have to go to. A lot of our tournaments right now that's coming up are going to be in Kansas City. We're going to be in Colorado. We're going to be in California. So it's a bit spread it out, man. Last year she was spread it out the same, maybe mostly in Florida that we were in, and then Colorado, California, which we go every year. Those are some of the biggest tournaments that's in softball, man. You want to see some great games, some great talent with girls playing softball, man. Got to go to Colorado and California, PGF Nationals, man. You're gonna see some great players out there, man. I promise you.
Do they stream those?
Yeah, so the championship game is streamed on every age group. They usually do her age group is usually the week before school starts. I think it's like July, that last week in July. The younger age groups they go the next week, meaning because a lot of them they're going to some of them are going to school, going to college.
Mm,
Uh, some of them start high school ball.
mm.
So they're a week earlier. But they do stream the championship in Colorado. They have it's almost like two tournaments in one. The first tournament you will play on, I think it's ESPNU for the championship game, and then the next tournament, that championship game is also streamed. So it's
Okay.
and it's nice once you get in. It's nice. It'll pull you in.
Right. Right. So it's fairly expensive though early on, right? Yeah, and then once you get to Alex's level, some like do you have like a Louisville Slugger? Somebody helps you out somewhat with like your gear and stuff like that, and then maybe you get some form of a scholarship with the North Carolina Devils,
It's the Lady Dukes.
Lady Dukes. I'm so sorry, the Lady Dukes. I don't even like Duke Blue Devils. I don't know why I said that, but I must have linked them like that, right? I'm sorry, I apologize. But so you do get a little help now on those aspects of it.
So once they get to the 18U level, a lot of the teams that have their premium team, their premier team, they usually will have some kind of sponsorship, something like that going on. She's blessed to be with James Lamar. We call him JD. She's blessed to be with that organization and that team. That team has a lot of help for the kids, whether it be the tournament costs, the equipment costs. They kind of take care of that, and she's blessed to be with them and she loves that team. She loves the coaches. It's actually, yeah, like I say, I think I told you that the coach is actually married to the head coach of the Duke Blue Devils.
Okay,
So
well then first of all, I apologize for saying I don't particularly like Duke.
yeah, she probably, but that's fine. Well, I'm definitely gonna see, and that's fine. But
Our ratings just went down.
but she is blessed to be on that team, and other organizations also have similar things that they have for their kids once they get to that.
Right, right. Alex, now I think you've probably been ranked longer than you can remember. Is that pretty much?
It starts at like 14U. I think
Okay.
that's
You got ranked at 12.
or 12.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And does that when you're like you're 11 and you're playing against 14-year-olds and then you're 12 and you're getting ranked, is that a little bit intimidating to have that going on, or does that serve as motivation for you?
I think it's motivation for me. I know a lot of people looking at me now, and I have something to prove. Like people doubting that if I should be ranked that high, and that just motivates me to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
Right, but that's your thing though, right? Is that you want to prove people wrong. You want to be out there doing it. All right, Alex, what do you rank now?
See, the publication that started, the guy that started doing the rankings, they have a 3. There's some newer rankings that have her maybe 80 or something like that. So with the older publication guy that's been doing it, who's seen them since they were 12 years old, she's higher ranked than that in his publication.
What's she ranked in that publication?
3.
3. So, well, that tells you something right there, right? We were talking about the differences between the way the two were done. Like Perfect Game wouldn't have one person ranked at 3 and one person ranked at 80.
Right.
Right? You know what I mean? It would be maybe 3 and 7 or 4 and 10, but it wouldn't be, so it tells you that's a little disjointed in the way they figure out where everybody goes. Now let's talk a little bit though, because there was a recruiting process. You did do a commit. What was the recruiting process for you like, Alex?
It was it came really fast. September 1st came really fast, and we had phone calls at 12 o'clock at night, and at 12 o'clock at
Well,
night.
September 1st is the first day they're allowed to talk to you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they're calling you at 12:01.
Then they'll set up visits and stuff like that, and you just gonna pick us from there.
Now, Kareem, the recruiting process is a little bit fast forward as you thought, right?
Yeah, man, it's a lot fast forward. You don't get that time to kind of look around, see do I like this school? Do I not, go to another school? If I like that school, I probably want to go ahead and commit to that school. So
Right.
it's kind of fast paced like that. You don't know who's interested beforehand. September 1st here, you're getting phone calls and you're getting opportunities to go on visits, and you just choose which visits you want to go on, and then you go. And then from there, you kind of decide which one school you want to go to. Everything happened pretty much between the month of September and October. And you're pretty much done. Anything after that, they pretty much kind of try to lock in everybody they must have between September and October.
Right. Now, you told me a story kind of about what they had seen and the back-to-back stuff. You want to talk about that a little bit?
So, with South Carolina, by the way, they did call at 12:01 a.m., right? They were the first school to call, and she actually messaged them during a national tournament. The last national tournament that her team actually got third in. She messaged her that she was having a game coming up that next morning, the early game. And one of the coaches came out. It was a tight ball game. All of these is against like top teams in the nation is playing against each other. So every game is a tight game. But these game was tight going down to the wire. Close to the end of the game, 1-run game here or there. Alex hits a home run, takes the lead. They win the game. Right? The coach sees that. The coach comes back. The next game, same thing. Tight ball game. Alex comes up the bat. End of the game, hits a home run. They take the lead. I think that was a 0-0 game. They end up scoring 1 run, win the game. Right at home run. Okay, they were losing that game.
Mm-hmm.
The home run, and took the lead. They won the game. The very next game was I want to say kind of a rivalry game, man. It was the Birmingham Thunderbolts team versus a Georgia Impact team. That was the name of the teams, right? Next door neighbor. So good pitching game. The pitchers are dueling. They end up going into ITB overtime, win the bottom of the ninth inning. Runner on third. They actually, in the ITB, they put a runner on second in softball. They don't do the full bases loaded like baseball doing now. But they put the runner on second. When she came up, that runner had moved over to third. It was 2 outs. Adams at bat, 2-2 count at the time, 2 outs. Uh, two um, 2 outs. Runner on third base. Bottom of the ninth inning. I think it was a 2-2 count. Ball came in, bang, ball over the gate. Right, so everybody knew when it came off the bat. Right, you had it. I'm going to say this: it had the backstop was filled with college coaches, not just the one that was there that she messaged. Right,
Right.
everyone had the fields up, field here, field behind you, field to the right and left. So everybody kind of moved to this field because it was a tight game. And man, the ball came off the bat, and as soon as it hit the bat, everybody knew you had the thunderbolt side kind of. You hear a gas for air. Oh, and then it kind of erupted, right? And the ball went over the fence, man. Everybody jumping around. I took my hat off and threw it somewhere in the ground. And that was the ball game. We ended up getting third in that tournament, moving on to the next round, man. So it was awesome. And from that point, September 1st came along. They called. We actually set up a Zoom meeting with them at, I think it was 11 o'clock that morning, right? And they actually talked about that, right, on that Zoom call, right? And then she scheduled a visit to go and see them, and they made her an offer she couldn't refuse. And about 3 days later, she went on and committed to him, man. So it was a fun ride,
Mhm.
going, and she knew where she was going. And now it's kind of smooth sailing. We're just working to try to get better, man, and try to show up ready to play.
Right, right. I don't know if you realize this, Alex, because it probably just seems normal for you. But one thing, your swing is beautiful, and you've got length to it. And I've watched both the hits all three of the hits he's talking about on your social media, I think. And congratulations on that. But um, we're in a golden age of women's sports, especially at the college level. Women's basketball is highly rated. Women's softball is highly rated. People are starting to realize that softball is baseball in a microwave. It's exciting, and it's and do you realize the facilities you're getting to play in next year or year after next because you're junior with South Carolina? Was it a little overwhelming when you go to see how these SEC schools with the money they're getting off television are being able to help you provide for your time in college and the facilities you're going to play in?
Um, no, I'm actually really excited for it. I can't wait to get on the field and play in front of thousands of people. This is what I've been working for my whole life, and just can't wait to get there.
Right. Well, you're into big moments, right?
Well, I
Yeah.
want to say this. I want to say this to you, Kevin.
Mhm.
So going there on the visit, she had, I say since she was about 11, 12 years old, I've always taken her there, right? So I always took her to see. I always believe, hey, you want them to strive to be something, go take them to see it early,
Mhm.
right? I want to take them to see it early, so she already knew what it was about, and it kind of gave her motivation to try to get there. You
Right.
know, one little quick story when she was, I want to say that's when she was playing up. She was 11 years old, right? A friend of mine was getting recruited at the time, so she's much older at the time. She was getting recruited by Georgia. And so he told me that day, but she had already committed to South Carolina at the time, right? But Georgia sent her a link to sign up for one of their prospect camps, which is just 50 girls get that link or whatever to go sign up. He sent it to me. She was 11, right? He said, go ahead and sign up. Just tell them she a little older and go on there and see it, right? So I took her up there. She was 11 at that time. Coach Lou was the head coach at Georgia, and she went up there, man, and she was going through the drills and everything with girls that was ended up playing for Georgia. That was getting recruited at the time, and they're like 17, 18. She was 11 in
Right.
there. And Coach Lou stopped what she was doing and came over and talked to her. Right? Came over and talked to her, asked her what position she played, asked her different questions that she asked. And man, so just to say that I've kind of put her in that environment, man, at an early age. So when the time came that she was getting recruited, it wouldn't be a big shock to
Right. Right. Hey, let's take a quick break and we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about the day in the life of a rising junior, and then we're gonna wrap, giving some people some credit for for your success, which obviously most of the credit goes to you, Alex. All right. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. First of all, thank you to Showcase Apparel. Thank you, Ben. And Alex, full-time student, you do well in school. Your dad believes you do well in school because you like we said earlier, you like to be good at things. You right? Is that right? That's how you
Very competitive.
right, very yeah, right. And so what is a day like for you? You got to go to school, you get your workouts in. How many workouts are you getting a week?
So throughout the week, I once a week I go to a fitness coach. I go to my fitness trainer. Another day I go to my hidden trainer, and then the other few, like 2 days out of the week, I go to the field with my dad, and we work out just with us, hitting, fielding, stuff like that. And I try to lift every day, also.
You try to lift every day. Are you lifting, just for curiosity's sake, are you lifting heavy? Are you doing high reps?
A little bit of both. Both.
Okay. Okay. Who's your fielding coach?
Julius Gaines from Ground Up Baseball.
Okay. Okay. Softball, right? When you watch baseball, guy hits the ball to the shortstop, he throws it across the infield, guy's out by 6 steps. That doesn't happen in softball. You have to be clean.
Everything's bang bang in softball. You have to be fast.
Right. You work on being clean all the time.
I do, or else she's gonna be safe every single time.
Right. And you're playing second and short and a little center. Right. Okay. Okay. Now, who's your hitting instructor?
He's really big in softball. His name is Lincoln Martin.
Yeah, he's good, evidently. I mean, you got a beautiful swing.
her. I put something on that too.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right.
real quick, name your Dukes coach again and name your high school coach.
My travel ball team is um Lamar, Coach Lamar, and my high school team is Coach Brooks.
Right.
Coach
Okay, good. Good. Now,
Coach Brooks is out of Stockbridge High School.
Bridge High School.
Stockbridge High School.
okay. Okay. Now, so I think when I listened to your father talk about you, the competitiveness jumped out at me. But also what jumped out on me is the amount of commitment your family. I know your mom has to be tremendous in all this, right?
Yes, she's athletic. Yes.
But also, I mean,
Yeah,
all this doesn't happen if it's not a unit.
So sometimes I have to go with my son, and she's gone with Alex, and then we'll switch up every now and then. I try to make everything I can though, man. But yeah, so we have to run a team over here.
Right. And I think that's where I was going is sometimes, when you talk about teams, people talk about, oh, there's a team in the workplace and oh, there's a team, which that's important. And whenever your playing career is over, you'll go into some form of a workplace and you'll be on a team there. But people forget a family's a team. And it's the most important team you're ever going to be on. Right, Ben?
That's right. Absolutely. And the sacrifice that it takes to create that team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Every now and then you got to do something for your brother, Alex, right? But we do. We have to do things for one another to make the ball roll forward, for us to be better at things. I want to wrap on that. Alex, thank you for giving me your time. Kareem, thank you so much for giving me your time. Ben, you got anything?
No, man, I just want to say continue the great work that you're doing, Kareem and Alex, and I wish you guys the best.
Appreciate you, boss man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Y'all got anything else you want to say?
Hey man, thanks for having us on here, man. This will be her first time doing a podcast, and I'm glad that she got the chance to do it with you and Ben, man. We just appreciate it.
Me too.
Thank
Me
you.
too. Folks, thank you for watching. We got a couple of commercials we're running for Showcase Apparel. Get in touch if you want to do some stuff with that. And thank you again. Y'all have a great, great day.
All right, y'all too. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Bye.